It's been a little while since I've done a little check-in like with what's happening here at Coop Kitty Central, so I thought I would do that and talk to you guys while I get ready to film a brand video. The first and probably the most exciting update for all of you is that we are getting a new foster kitten tomorrow. I'm not going to lie, I was not really planning on fostering this soon again after the Rappling babies, but a need presented itself. So tomorrow I will be going to pick up one little girl. I don't know much about the kitten. I've seen pictures. I know that she was found by a very sweet gal. The kitten kind of wandered up to her from what I was told, and she called several shelters to see if they could take her, and none of them would take her. So she's kind of in a bind to do something with this kitten. So that's why we're going to take her. I've seen pictures. She looks like she's probably between 4 and 8 weeks, but we will find out tomorrow once we actually meet her in person. I'm not going to lie to y'all, the timing of this is not the most ideal, and I'm going to share something that I've never really shared before. It's not a big deal, but I'm just really like a private person, but if maybe sharing this would help somebody else, then that's okay. I am currently in the middle of an infusion schedule for getting IV iron. I've been anemic for probably most of my life. The first symptoms showed up when I was 10, and by the time I was 16, they were severe enough to be seeing a hematologist every 3 to 4 months. I did get my first iron infusion when I was 20, so from between 16 and 20 was the time that it took insurance to approve that first bag of IV iron, because we had to try and fail every other method first, which of course they all failed. We knew they would fail, the doctors knew they would fail, my nurse practitioners knew they would fail, but we had to jump through all those hoops before we could get to what we know would work. Anyway, like I said, I got my first infusion when I was 20, and that was 6 years ago, and that lasted me a good 6 years. But about, I would say around the time that we were moving last year, I noticed some of my old symptoms coming back, but I really chopped it up to being tired from the move, because moving is exhausting. And then the Rappling babies came to us in February, so then I chopped up my fatigue to having neonatal foster kittens. It was around the summertime that I noticed some other symptoms that I did not think could be chopped up to just the regular wear and tear of life. So I went back to my hematologist, and I got my first test dose last Monday. Sorry for the lack of posting. And then this week I'm getting the next 2 and final doses. The second dose is tomorrow morning, so I will be going to do that, and then I'm gonna come home, hopefully catch a little nap, and then meet the gal to go pick up the foster kitten in the afternoon. I don't wanna harp too much about the iron stuff, but I guess, if anyone has any questions or has experienced anything, and there's anything that I could share that might help somebody, I'm not opposed to answering questions. And back to our sweet little foster kitten that's going to come, I will say we are very, very low on food and funds. Over the last 2 years, our community has donated so much cat food, and that has been so incredible. And I'm sure some people will say like, well, what happened to all the food? We either used it or we gave it away. Anytime a rescue or a foster or a nonprofit group has had a need, I will go down to our Coop Kitty pantry and pull stuff out to take to them. I feel so lucky to be able to do that. But now our pantry is looking a little low, and we have a new foster coming in. And if anybody would like to send food, of course you don't have to, and I will find a way to make it work for this little kitten no matter what. But if anybody would like to send food, I have put a wish list up for Coop Kitty Central. On that list, I included a few things for the Coop Kitties themselves, like some of their favorite freeze-dried treats, and I put some of Remy's favorite treats on there just because, I don't know, everything is about the kitties, and I don't know, I put some treats on there for her if anybody wants to get Remy some of her favorite treats. Okay, this side is done. Now we have to do this side. And with funds for getting this little kitten vet care, it's the same thing like with the food. We've been so fortunate to have such an amazing community donate funds to us so that I could get proper treatment for the Coop Kitties, and I wanted to share that with other people. So y'all know we've given away at this point now, I would say close to $70,000 to other people in need and random acts of kindness, which I feel so lucky to be able to do. I'm sure some people will say, well, why did you give away all that money? You know, you should have kept more for your animals. And my thoughts behind that has always been, it's better to share kindness and abundance with other people. And then when a need arises, if it's meant to be, it will find its way back to us. Maybe some people will think that is a silly mindset for me to have, but as someone who's been the recipient of a lot of kindness and generosity, I think it would be silly of me not to share that with other people if given the opportunity. There's two sides to every coin. It's so awesome to be able to give, but now here we are, and I'm going to bring in another kitten, and I'm not quite sure right now how I'm going to pay for her vet bills, but our community has always had my back. So when someone asked if I would take the kitten, the answer was yes. I haven't decided exactly what I want to do with raising funds for this kitten, but if y'all have ideas, you can let me know, but I think we're definitely gonna have to do something. Okay, just finished this side, and speaking of community, before I go film the brand video, I have a message from Hassam, one of the people that we have adopted in Palestine. I feel like it's really important for Hassam's voice to be heard, so I'm going to read y'all something that he sent to me to tell y'all. When I asked Hassam if there was anything that he wanted me to share with my community, this is what he said. The most important message that I want everyone to know is that their support and presence by our side helped us a lot and changed a lot. About myself and what I went through and the loss of my family, but the presence of supporters was a major reason for my continuation in this life. Please do not give up. You are our hope. The least thing from you helps a lot. Hassam lost so many members of his family, and you can read more about his story on the fundraiser that I have shared over on my profile. That is his words telling his story about everything that he's been through. And as you heard, just us showing support to him in the comments and through his fundraiser means the world to him. I truly cannot fathom the things that he has been through and the losses that he has experienced, and any support that we can show to Hassam and the other the family that we've adopted, the vet and his family, is greatly appreciated. Well, I guess I should go and get this brand video filmed so that I can then go and deep clean the foster room and get it ready for our new little gal to come tomorrow.